Rinse off the stones.
So you said you do keep the water stones too?
I'm sorry?
You said you would keep the water stones also?
How do you mean keep them?
Use them.
You can use them? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, use them. Yeah, when the other fellow was talking, he said something about I use the water stones too.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is that I personally own those and use those, but I use these when I do the shows, and there seems to be a slight difference in the wearing of the stones. These seem to wear a little bit less, but I get great results from those.
I understand. Do you use both, or would you just concentrate on these?
Just one set of stones. You don't need both. If somebody would flip that stone over and let me take a look at that 1000 grit and see if it's ready to go. It needs a little bit of work. I need a volunteer or two. Would anybody like to flatten that stone for me? Just spritz it down with some water. That'll be good. And just down just like that. You want to apply even pressure across that stone. You're doing fine. And just downward pressure, working to true it. You can take a pencil and create hash marks down that stone, and that'll be a good way to see if you're flat. Let me just get that a little flatter.
You're a little more aggressive than I am.
Well, this has a little bit of an odd wear to it. Get it down quick and get this going.
Your truing stone, what is that made out of?
This is a diamond material. It's the Sharpen diamond lapping plate. I think that'll work for now. Would anyone like to use that station there? You might as well, it's free.
Good, now you can help me strip my plate.
Just put a little bit of water on it and then use that. You've got a jig right here. You can use this iron.
What is the oil used for? You said afterwards you would use it?
It's camellia oil. Right. It's a really light oil, and it helps prevent rust.
After you're done?
Yeah. Okay. And you can do this on your plate bodies, your chisels, and stuff lasts you a long time. It goes really far. You don't need to wipe that off.
Oh, you don't have to?
Yeah, in fact,
I
you
better put it back on then.
Yeah. That looks like that's ready to go. Okay. Hand that back to me. Excellent job. Thank you. Okay. If everybody would locate their jig. I'm right-handed and I like the thumb screw on the right hand. So when you start to put your iron in, you want the bevel down. Put the bevel down. And we're going to go for a 30-degree bevel. And if you look at the jig in front of you, you'll see a stop block marked 30 degrees. You lay the iron down and slide the jig up and move the iron forward until it hits that stop block. So just move it forward, the 30 degree, right?
And then the edge of this.
Right.
That way you know where you're at, sweetie. That's okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
There we go.
Let me just tighten this a little. Okay.
I've seen the video a few times.
This jig helps setting up for specific angles pretty simple. Once you've got it just thumb tight, you can take the screwdriver and tighten it up a little bit with the screwdriver. There's a screwdriver, yeah, there's a slot right there, tighten it up. Excellent.
Thank you.
When we approach the stone, we want to go wheel down and then let the iron just drop into the stone. If we come in at a sharp angle, we will run the risk of dinging the stone. You might want to put a little bit more water on that 1000 grit. Since these irons are in pretty good shape already, as in they're not nicked up and really dull, we can get away with sharpening with about 10 strokes back and forth. If your iron were really dull, you may need to do more strokes to get to a better edge. So we're going to apply even pressure with our fingers, concentrating on that outer edge of the blade. And we're going to go back and forth, 10 strokes, 12, something like that, thinking about even pressure on that edge. Then we can take a look at it and see how we're doing. And our goal is kind of an even line. If the iron is square in the jig, you'll get an even line across that outer edge. Okay? You can feel the back. You might feel a slight burr. It'll be very, very small. That's good. That's telling you that you've removed enough material on the micro bevel. And again, we're concentrating on this outer part called the micro bevel. Now we're ready to move to the 8,000 grit. So in your case, you'll turn your stone over. Spritz it. Same sequence. We want to dry the, wipe the wheel off, wipe the edge off. Approach it wheel down, roll the iron into it. Applying pressure, go for about the same number of strokes. We're putting the final polish on that edge. We can take a look at it, wipe it off, just see how we're doing. It should be a brighter polish. And you might feel a wire burr on the back. Ideally, you'd want to feel a wire burr that ran the whole length of the edge. That way, you know you've removed an even amount of material across the edge of that iron. Now we're ready to hone away that wire edge. So you have a ruler there. You may need to get your stones wet again. But work that ruler into the water. It'll create a little suction and it will stick. Remove the iron from the jig. And we're going to take the back of the iron, so you want to flip that iron over. And we're going to lay it down across that ruler with the edge hanging off. Perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah. And we're going to work the iron back and forth across, on and off the edge of that stone. We're honing away that burr and polishing the very outer edge. The purpose of the ruler trick is to slightly raise the blade, and it's concentrating our honing efforts on the very outer edge. And we can flip that over and take a look at it, and you should see a slightly brighter surface on the very, very outer edge. This does put a very slight back bevel, less than 1 degree. Once we're finished and we're satisfied with our work, we'll wipe that down and then wipe it down with some camellia oil, and then we're ready to go. But we need to true our stone up, because when we're finished, we always true the stone before we put it away. Any questions? No? Okay.
What is truing a stone?
Truing the stone is taking a flat reference medium, something like a sharpen glass diamond plate, and bringing the stone back into flat, because as you've gone through the sharpening process, you've worn away most likely the center part of the stone, and you need to bring that back to flat so that you're working from a flat surface as long as possible. And you do that by taking your flattening medium of choice and working the stone back and forth. You can do this with a sharpen stone or with sandpaper attached to a reference material that's very flat.
Would that be very fine sandpaper?
Well, 150 would be fine. It doesn't have to be a really high grit.
Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.